Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator for technology startups. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. In support of that mission, we've done these free mentoring roundtables for years and years and years, since 2008. And this is the 633rd roundtable, free roundtable. We do many roundtables on the premium program as well. The event is being recorded. All our roundtable recordings are available on our YouTube channel, 1M1M Roundtables. On Twitter, I am at Stramana. 1M1M is also a handle through which we publish a lot. These are the calling instructions. At the moment, we're going to do the scheduled programming, the pitches, and then we can certainly take questions from the audience. You can dial in through this line or through public chat. You can turn on your computer audio. Many ways that we can work on this. So Ron and Shibu, Skillkeepr is the company. Please unmute your line and get started.
Thanks, Samana and Maureen, for having us here. I would like to quickly start by introducing my co-founder Shibu and me before we deep dive into what the business is, what the plan is, what the product is. We are what you call as atypical startup founders out of Silicon Valley or anywhere else in the world. We just have, I have a master's in business. I've done my post-graduation in system analysis, and Shibu is a veteran of the Indian Navy. He's a commander. That's why we call him Commander. He is from IIT in Delhi, which I think quite a few of us know of. He's got a double major in electrical engineering and naval architecture. We both have been in the business of IT staff augmentation and building up teams for large corporations for the good part of 2 decades. And that's where it started. We started facing issues in the workflow, and for us, it was not about let's try to invent something really fancy and new. It was about let's try to get our productivity up, because productivity was the main problem with an established business. It wasn't the new tools or stuff that we were getting hold of. So having said that, this is what our company is called. It's called Skillkeepr. Our product is a recruitment platform. It is not a sourcing platform. It's a recruitment tool, which can be used by established recruiting HCM platforms or as a standalone by smaller companies. We'll deep dive into that in a while. Obviously, invest in the future of tech recruitment. There's a play on both the words. Invest from the point of VCs, invest from the point of companies. Next slide, please. As we were looking into how to improve our own productivity with Shibu and me in our main companies saying, how do we make it better for our clients, for our people? We realized that 60% of our tech recruiters' time is spent on manual tasks, even to date. Sometimes they become mailmen, sometimes they become phone takers, sometimes they become call center people, but they don't have enough time for which they are mainly hired, which is people, understanding people and talking to people. They don't get the time to spend there. Where does that time go? The time goes mainly in stuff like trying to align disparate resumes, extract the skill sets, match it to the job descriptions, reformat those resumes so they become readable, understanding the contextual part of the resume. Somebody writing a JavaScript with J capital S capital JS, Node.js, what does that really mean? Dependence on the hiring managers. Tech recruiters specifically or specialized recruiters they're not technical per se. So how do they interview someone for technical if they don't have that background? One of the bigger issues was over the years, they have hundreds of thousands of resumes. We currently have a client who has got 600,000 resumes lying in their database. But every time they have a new job or a job coming up for their clients, they post it out because they can't really go back and churn those 600,000 resumes. It takes them time, but that's where they should be going first. There is issues integrating the widely used specialized tools right now. So you may have a Calendly, you may have a Zoom, you may have WebEx, you may have all of these tools are needed, but they're not integrated. They're not seamless into the current HCMs or recruitment platform. What you record on Zoom does not get attached to the client, the candidate profile. So next time you've got to find it. It's not possible to do that. And the biggest thing is the lack of analytics. The main point of this is that the current recruitment systems, they face challenges in dealing with the complexities of tech recruitment. And you can actually replace that word tech recruitment by saying complexities of nursing recruitment, complexities of mining recruitment, complexities of oil and gas, wherever specialized people are needed with specialized skill sets, licensing, the current ATS systems, the recruitment systems cannot manage that flow or inflow. Next slide, please. Here's a quick little brief of what does it really cost to a company. And let's not even for a second, let's not even think about what the real cost is of not filling a seat in a team of 5 people in a tech company, 5 people Scrum, because the 4 can't be productive because you don't have one important functional person there. Resume formatting today costs a company $48,000 of recruiter time in US in a small company. That's an independent recruitment company. It takes half an hour to reformat and match skills per resume. Video interviewing tools cost
what is this PA
per annum.
Per annum, okay.
Yeah. That's the recruitment time cost. So if you're a recruiter, if you're a third-party recruiter and you have a team of 3 people, one person would be reformatting the resumes to submit to your clients and make it readable. That's worth $48,000 today.
So the main expenditure is in resume reformatting from your slide here.
That's the main straight cost right now. Okay. That's a direct cost. So if they really want to sit down and say, how much does it cost us? 48,000 is a point they will start with saying. That's a cost.
Okay.
Sorry, the last slide, please. Same, if you already skimmed through it, so I really don't want to talk about it. So the biggest issue here is that most of the applications that are there, recruitment applications, they work in silos. So you have one application that does the ATS, one does the video interview, one is the calendar integration. None of them talk to each other. Yet you're paying for everything. Next slide, please. This is a quick summary of, what are the main kinds of applications that are there in the market, the main segments, and what do they serve. So if you look at that, whether it's an HCM, whether it's a recruitment system, candidate sourcing, video thing, they all have certain features, but none of them ever thought of going beyond it. And that's where our own personal problems that started, because we had to have every one of these to be functional. But then productivity loss was because there's no it wasn't seamless. Should I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. So we built Skillkeepr ground up, which has taken us 3 years to develop it. The very first thing that is there is an NLP powered automatic resume reformatting. Now it's become a big jargon, the word NLP. We have been writing it for the last 3 years. So last year when we did our alpha launch of the product and were trying to tell people we had NLP, nobody knew what it was. Thank God for ChatGPT and all. Everybody knows what we are doing now, which is fantastic. It's just become common. So what does that NLP do? It can actually read through any format, extract the skills, understand synonyms of a word, turn them into databases, and we can actually churn the database. So we can run through. So a resume comes in any format. Somebody writes JavaScript, 2 words, JavaScript, J capital, S capital, JavaScript, J capital, S small. They write it as JS. Today's resume parsers don't understand because they are OCRs. The way we have written our databases, it understands what's being said. It extracts those skill sets, turns that person into a database point. Now we can run through 100,000 resumes over hundreds of filter searches. And we can find you an exact fit in less than 6 seconds.
Okay. And I have a question here.
Please go ahead.
So these functions like calendar scheduling or Zoom interviewing or video interviewing, I assume you're using existing tools and then integrating with them in your product, yeah?
No, we built it all.
You built video conferencing system on your own?
Yeah.
That's a very big wastage of resources.
No, it was not. We use open source technology to deploy it.
No, I'm telling you why it is a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are used to certain tools and technologies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a good idea to necessarily try to, from a product adoption point of view, it's not a good idea to, in a product strategy, it's not a good idea to develop everything from scratch. It's often a better idea to integrate with something that is already well adopted and people know how to use those systems.
Right. So may I counter that for you?
You can try.
Okay. So currently what happens, there are a couple of main standalone products. There is Zoom, there is Microsoft, there is Teams, and there is Google Meet. Now, what we did was, and then there are the standalone video interviewing platforms like HireVue, HireFlix. These are standalone platforms, right? Now, none of them, what happens is that when you're interviewing into them, you cannot integrate them to feed back into the resume of the candidate. So what ours does is when you're doing the interview, it takes the interview and feeds it back and attaches it back as a profile. You cannot do that on a Zoom or any of them. Second thing, inside ours, the code editor and everything is running live inside the video integration. So it's not cheatable and it's not a second application running on the side. It's inside live. It's like a blackboard running. So are the assessments. So that particular module is a module that is all encompassing. So if you are doing a Zoom interview with a code tester remote today, you will send him a code test later. You cannot live test him.
Yeah, but testing is not something you're going to test on a video interview.
Well, we can do that here. It's a live two-way. So when a hiring manager is hiring someone who's a coder, he can actually, in our video, he can drop a code snippet across, I think, 600 languages or tools. It can say format to, ask the candidate on the other side, it's running live, do the code snippet, show me your coding skills, solve this problem, and that all gets recorded, goes into a compiler, and it churns it out.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
It's a completely different kind of a module.
Okay.
Then we have the advanced candidate suggestion engine, which runs off our skill set that we extracted using NLP. We have an integrated team calendar and calendar scheduling. Now, this is again something which is there in Calendly, but what it does with us is that inside the platform itself, it integrates with Google as well as Outlook. It pulls in the available dates from all the people who are involved in the hiring process and opens up the calendar for self-scheduling by the candidate. So that saves the time of the recruiter having to call people or email people now, candidates, shortlisted candidates.
All right, let's, in the interest of time, let's
Sure.
go to market strategy. Where are you? Do you have customers already using the system?
Yeah, we launched it on 26th of January, the product itself, market-wide. We have got trial runs running with approximately 7 customers, 7 larger customers. We have a confirmed client coming in, which is a corporate customer of ours, who's like corporate package customer. That's a confirmed after the trial. We have actually 2 customers. One is the largest SAP HANA retail implementation company out of US. They are already testing it. They have already confirmed it that after the trial period, they're going to go on to the commercial package of ours. And the other is one of the largest land registry companies in Canada, who have already tested it and are now getting into, in the next 2 months, getting off the trial into the subscription package.
Okay. And where is your TAM analysis, TAM, pricing model, business model, where is all that?
It's all in the following slides. So,
Okay, go ahead.
Again, another thing too is that we are not trying to blow any smoke in the mirror. with big TAMs and big numbers, because at the end of the day, it's our money that we have already invested. We are already $1.2 million into the whole product development and marketing cycles now.
That's your investment.
Yeah, that's our investment, personal investments going into the product.
Okay.
So it's a mature product that we are bringing to the market. We are not going in with a concept. We are not going in with a small MVP. It's a full-blown product. It's ready to go. It's full enterprise level. We are finishing our.
And in what time frame are your POCs going to mature into customers, paying customers?
Another 2 months.
Another 2 months. And what are they going to look like? These 7-8 deals that you're talking about, what are those deals going to look like?
2 of them will be in the range of around $10,000 to $16,000 a year.
Okay. And these are small companies, mid-sized companies? What are we talking about?
No, these are mid-market.
So tell me the business model and the pricing model.
All right, we have to go ahead onto the slides, please. Next
By the
one.
way, you should, and there's a lot of problems with the order of your slides.
Sure.
You need to do bottom-up TAM early on in that presentation. So let's do this one.
So that's our pricing module right now. There is the professional, which is starting at 150.
Okay.
This is basically for the smaller recruitment companies, smaller startups, tech companies who have around 200 odd employees, 20 to 200 people. We are sitting at 150 to 1500. The upsell in this is the number of interviews that they get, the video interviews and all, which is what they actually end up consuming a lot, because we have consumed it. We know exactly where we'll end up with this. And
So
that's
you
actually
price that separately, the video interviewing, you price that separately?
no, that is already a part of it. But once they consume the package they are in, then they get upsold.
Okay.
So they get upsold on 2 things. One is the amount of consumption of the video that they eat up, the one-way interviews and the two-way interviews, and the storage.
Okay.
Those are the 2 upsells that they get once they're bought. So the model is very similar to, in the 151, we are very similar in pricing module to a Gillette.
So you're saying the number of recruitment firms, mid-sized recruitment firms, there are 120,000 plus in America and 400,000 plus in the.
That's mid-sized recruitment firms and small technology companies.
Okay, so
There are 42,000 independent recruitment firms just in US.
Mhm. And these are tech recruitment. Your product is applicable generally or just to tech recruitment?
So and we'll get into that. Our opening gambit is tech recruitment, but if you open up our system, we can recruit everything and anything under the sun and turn it into data points.
So now, but what is this assessment that you have here of
120,000 is the independent staffing and recruitment firms.
not just tech?
Not just tech, because there are very few people who do pure tech recruitment. Every recruitment company does every kind of recruitment other than the executive search firms.
No, there are specific tech recruitment firms too.
Yeah, 1,800 of them in
There are
US.
lots of technical companies.
1,800 of them as per our list right now.
Okay.
Pure tech recruitment. So like we have one of the people who are doing this thing is a company called Spyglass. Spyglass is a pure tech recruitment firm. They've been doing pure tech recruitment from the last 21 years. So
And your current pipeline, the 7-8 companies that you're in POC with, what profile of this, what you're showing here on the slide, where does that fit?
So out of the 8, we have got 2 sitting at the professionals and the rest 6 are sitting at corporates.
Okay. And so the corporates are going to be in the 10,000 to 16,000 range?
They will be in the 5,000 base point.
Okay.
And by the time they add up, the number of interviews and all they want, they will hit around $12,000.
And how complex or high touch is the POC?
I didn't get your question.
To do a POC with a corporate customer, how much work is it? How high touch is this process?
So high touch from the point of view of really using the system, the way we do it is that we have our own people who not only do the demo, they also do the training for the corporate and the enterprises.
Yeah.
So it's usually 3 sessions of 40 minutes.
And
they're
is that free? Is that training
Yeah.
free or paid?
absolutely free.
So this is where you're going to need to pay attention to your profitability.
I know that's going to eat up our costs.
Yeah.
We have because
Is
it's
that
a
5,000?
high cost of touch point. We will add it on enterprise points. So I'm so sorry I cut you off. We'll start adding costs, but initially we want to keep it free because adoption and spreading of that becomes very important for us.
Yeah, because what you're going to hear from investors is that anything that is, in that sub 10,000, sub 50,000 price point per year needs to be sold relatively easily by phone, at best by phone. So that sales cycle and the sales process is going to be the determining factor in whether investors are going to resonate with this or not, and whether they will see this as a high velocity business or not. You've probably heard me say this ad nauseum. Venture investors are looking to go from 0 to $100 million in 5 to 7 years. So whatever business you're trying to raise money for has to show velocity of that kind, and that is not that's hyper growth. That's not the natural way businesses grow. And hyper growth like that is only achievable if you have a high velocity sales cycle. And what you're telling me raises red flags on that.
So if I could counter that, we have got 3 sales touch points happening for all the different markets. For the 150, it's completely online. There are no live, there is no interaction happening. We have a full-blown calling agents sitting there now who are now calling up the customers. Those are the main ones. In our opening gambit, only now till we get the product into the market and the name popular enough. One of the few things we realize, and this is something that has happened to us when we have been given a new product, my biggest issue is how do I learn it before I teach it? So initially we are having live demos and live training sessions for clients. Eventually we are moving to a revolving table, which has already been set up, which means that it's a continuous running demo and training sessions running on the hour every hour. So clients can join in on the hour, just like an open school.
So what of these companies that you list here about, those who have HCM platforms in the market, do you see any of them in these 8 POCs that you're doing? Which ones are coming up? What do they have, these corporates?
So they have, so if you divide up the market, starting from going right at the bottom would be the smaller companies who would have just an ATS, a plain ATS running. Mid-market usually would have smaller recruitment platforms like Greenhouse, Lever, Bamboo HR, which are already established. The larger ones would have a Workday and SAP SuccessFactors, ADP Workforce Lattice.
No, I understand, but what I'm asking you is something very specific. I know the HCM market inside out. So
Okay.
what are you seeing in those deals? Who is there already that you have to integrate with?
So we have to integrate with both the mid-market and the higher level for the product.
I'm asking which of these are in the deals that you're in currently?
The ones that we are in is Lever.
Lever, okay.
Yeah.
So all 8 are on Lever?
No, one of them is on Workday and the rest of them are on Lever.
Okay, so what is it about Lever that you're learning in this process?
What are we learning about Lever in the process is that currently, so the way we went about it to understand, what our integration fit looks like is what are the features in Lever what are the features that Lever doesn't have that is being served in their
That's my
marketplace?
That is
in
the gap that you are looking for.
The gap. So we have done a full gap analysis, and what we have done is our integrations, whether it's with Lever or Greenhouse, is seamless into the gap. So it's not an add-on to the gap.
What do you mean?
So let's say on Lever's marketplace, you have a video interviewing platform called HireView, right? HireView now you can add on to Lever, but HireView does not take that interview that's been recorded and add it to the profile of the candidate. So it's not a seamless integration in, it's an add-on integration. So you're integrated, so you'll pull the data out of Lever, do the interview, but the interview lies with HireView. It does not get attached to the profile itself. So next time when you want to share it or you want to see it, you really can't see it.
How many customers? This 32,000 clients. Lever has 32,000 clients.
No, Lever and Greenhouse, two of them together.
How many clients does Lever have?
16,000.
16,000 in the mid market.
Around 11 to 16,000 in the mid market.
And do they have beyond mid market?
No, they do not have. It's not a product for beyond mid market.
Okay, so that's good. So this 11 to 16,000 Lever clients, have you had conversations with Lever to do some kind of a partnership where
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. In fact, we have just launched on 26th, we launched as an integrated module of this.
Yeah.
Not only are they starting to market us, we are marketing it as a Lever integrated product. We have been provided with a list of reference clients, as they say it. So we've got 7,000 reference clients that we are now starting to chase.
Okay.
Who are Lever clients with names, addresses, and everything, phone numbers, email IDs. We are starting to chase them now. So it's early days. And one of the things we are doing with them is we are waiting another month or so, right after March, we'll be able to do that, is their own calling people who are there, people who are selling their product. We are doing a product training for them for Skillkeepr. So we are enabling them.
Lever acknowledges that they are missing certain functionality that you bring to the table and are willing to work with you as a whole product, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. So, for those of you who are listening to this conversation, this is a very interesting discussion of positioning, right? Because this is a very crowded market. HCM has been going on for decades. So HCM is a very crowded market. If you want to enter the HCM market in the year 2024, you have to find the gap of how you can enter this market. And this conversation we just had is there is an existing product in the market, in the mid-market, Lever, that has 16,000 potentially customers, and they recognize that there is a gap. This company, Skillkeepr, is filling that gap, and that is a potential market entry strategy. Now, this exercise that we just went through needs to be conducted for the other players in the market, both Greenhouse HR as well as the others higher up in the food chain, the SAP SuccessFactors, the ADP Workforce, Workday, etc. You've done this analysis, yes?
Yes, we have. In fact, we have the approval now for Greenhouse. We are launching the Greenhouse integrated platform, Shibu, I think this month or next month.
Yeah, already all the work has been done. So it's awaiting the last minute. So any minute it will launch.
Okay. And what is
sorry, I'm so sorry, Ramana. We also have the ADP Workforce system integration running now, which is going to start taking place, and Bamboo HR. So we are already moving up the food chain to understand where the gaps are and getting the approvals in now as we speak.
So Greenhouse, ADP Workforce, Bamboo HR, they all accept you as a module that fills their gaps?
Absolutely. If you were to ever go back to the slide that we have here, which talks about product differentiation, feature differentiation between us and different players, you will see it says there where the gaps are.
Right. No, I understand that, but I'm asking you something very specific.
Yeah, they do.
Those players,
yeah,
you are naming here, and who have these tens of thousands of customers,
yeah,
do they accept
yes,
that you bring in something to the table that will complete their product?
Absolutely.
Gaps. That's my question. Okay,
yeah.
Good. So now it's between Greenhouse HR and Lever HR, you have 32,000 targets. What about ADP Workforce? What is the size of?
Between ADP Workforce, SAP SuccessFactors,
No,
PeopleSoft,
no, no,
and
no, no. I'm asking specifically.
ADP Workforce is around 28,000 on the workforce.
And Bamboo HR?
Bamboo HR is another 21.
Okay. But you don't have this kind of relationship yet with SAP SuccessFactors, PeopleSoft, or Workday. Workday is inside PeopleSoft, right?
So Workday, we are, that's why Workday is not really here. Workday, we are awaiting the approval. So we have a meeting coming up with them to showcase everything another month's time, end of March.
Well, I think that it's not important that you have all of them right away. What is important is you start penetrating whichever ones that you have. It is important that you start selling into those. That's the more important thing, because that's, there is in differentiated go-to-market strategy, if you can ride on somebody else's channel, somebody else's sales force, building a full-fledged sales force is a very expensive proposition, right?
Absolutely.
Early stage startups have a very hard time affording to build something like that. So if you can ride on, one or two of these and start getting to maybe $1 million, couple of million in revenue, that will start to show velocity, defensible velocity. So I think this conversation is starting to, when you pitch to investors, you want to explain why you will be able to achieve velocity. And these are the kinds of levers with which you achieve velocity. And I think you are showing that there may be a possibility that you would be able to achieve velocity using these channels as partners.
Absolutely. And that's the whole intent. The whole intent is don't try. It's a mature market.
It is a
It's a
mature.
crowded bus. We need to nudge it in. We cannot push people out. So what is the nudge factor? Where is the space? Where do we start nudging it? So we think our best spent efforts are nudging starting from the smaller ATS systems, smaller ATS as in even, for that matter, even a Lever or Greenhouse is not a small company. They are each reaching nearly $1 billion in valuations,
And what is your burn rate?
Right now,
Yeah.
we are sitting at around $60,000 a month.
So if these deals close, you should be able to cover that burn rate, yeah?
A month.
Oh, a month. Okay, right.
So
Okay, so you are here, to discuss fundraising?
we are going to start fundraising. That's the whole idea. This is, of course, our, where do we want to go in the next 18 months? We think within the next 18 months is what we'll need to find a proper market fit ourselves. We think 12 to 18 months, we should know where exactly does the product stand. Did we really burn on money? Did we burn our own money and, we go get a drink and, forget about it? Or is it something that we really can take it forward?
So you're positioning your funding round as what? As a seed?
That is the issue. We don't know how to position it because we didn't pick a seed till now.
No, understood. You have bootstrapped and you have come quite far with bootstrapping. I think the question that is relevant here is if you say you're going to get to 0.75 million within 18 months, that is almost a very early seed kind of milestone. That is not a Series A milestone.
No, we are not looking at Series A. I think we would be going for seed, not a pre-seed.
Yeah, you can go for a seed for sure. Yeah. I don't think this is a pre-seed deal.
Yeah, we are looking at a seed happening. We're not looking at a pre-seed happening. Our runway right now is we have another 2 years of runway with us personally.
So then why wouldn't you, if you can crack, doesn't matter, you don't have to crack all of them. If you can crack one of these, Lever or whatever, let's say you can crack Lever, why is it such a low velocity trajectory? What time frame do you expect to be able to sell through Lever? Why is it a 0.75 million ARR within 18 months?
So one of the strategies, and it's not recommended by everyone, but we think in a freemium kind of a thing, we need people to get used to our software inside a company and a larger company. So
Freemium. You're doing freemium. These
Yeah.
are not. Why?
we are doing 3 months of free trial for every client.
That's not freemium. That's free trial.
Yeah, it's a free trial and then they convert.
Okay, but even so, if you're talking about big numbers, right? You said 16,000 leads from living HR alone. Even if it takes 3 months to 3 months of proof of concept, can you not move faster?
We could move faster, but to move faster, we need a couple of things to happen. And right now, we are very cognizant about the fact is how fast can we scale up not only our infrastructure, our support, our technical behind it, our call people behind it. How fast can we scale them up? It's a question of our burn rate. So the particular projection is based on saying, if it is our own money that's in the burn right now, how fast can we, how steady should we try to?
And what is the assumption in this 0.75 million within 18 months of launch ARR? What is the assumption that there is external financing or no external financing?
No external financing.
No external financing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why the velocity is lower.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, because we don't want to burn out before we reach a particular turning point.
And what time frame do you think you want to raise money in? After you've done this validation or later?
We would like to start raising our seed once we have the first commercial client signed.
Okay.
So that market fit kind of is validated. It's not a pie in the sky. So that's at that point is when we want to hit the seed.
Okay. So that's something this conversation needs to come out in your investor discussion, in that what you're saying here, this 0.75 million within 18 months of launch is without outside funding. And you need to present, if you go out for money, you need to present what is your velocity going to be if you took in such and such amount of money, because the velocity question is very important. No one's going to invest in a business unless you can show defensibly that you can hit high velocity.
Right.
Okay. So I'm perfectly fine with the fact that you're being conservative and disciplined about your spend and everything, and you're going to reach 1 million in 24 months. Okay, fine. But that's not going to get you any outside funding. You have to show an alternate scenario where it's a much higher velocity growth. You have to get to 3 million in 2 years if you want to qualify for outside financing.
Right. So yeah, I got your point. I got your point on that.
Okay.
So if we go ahead, this is our target right now that we are targeting. That is with the funding coming in, with the fundings that we plan to raise.
This is with the funding. 45 million by the 5th year is not a trajectory that you should present. As I told you, people are trying to go from $0 to $100 million in 5 to 7 years. So if you get to 45 million by year 5, are you going to get to 100 million by year 7?
Yes, we would actually hit 80 million by year 7.
Okay. Try to build a business plan that hits 100 million by year 7 is my guidance.
Yeah.
And that is a matter of, so again, it's a matter of how much money are you going to put in, because if you can legitimately leverage the market and you're positioning as an adjunct to a bunch of existing products, which I like very much, in positioning for an HCM product today, that is almost the only option. So you can't really come in and say, oh, I'm going to displace Workday and be taken seriously. That's just not going to work.
That's not going to work.
As a positioning challenge, that's just not going to work. So the fact that you're saying you are working on a specific module that is going to enhance existing products in the market, and then you're you have POCs with products that are in the market that are in conversation with you to build, really good partnerships, that gives me a lot of confidence in the positioning of this company. So how much money have you assumed, like to get to 45 million by the 5th year, 80 million by the 7th year? How much money how much of a raise have you assumed?
We have assumed that our seed would be anything between 2 to 3 to accelerate our growth rate. Our Series A would be in the region of 10 to 15.
And that's,
10 to 20.
are you expecting more money beyond that?
We have a vision beyond that about where to go because we think the product as is.
No. My question is, what have you assumed in this $80 million RAM?
Series A.
Assumed more money or no? Just
No, we
Series
haven't. Till Series A.
Okay, so the 10 to 15 plus another 2 to 3, let's say a total of $20 million getting to $80 million.
Correct, with our own money put together into it.
With you plus your own money that has already gone into it. And
So inclusive of our own money. So we are assuming between 18 million with our own money gets us to $80 million in ARRs.
Okay, and the seed is including what you've put in or
Seed is excluding.
excluded? Okay. All right.
So that's
got it.
pure money. That's pure money for acceleration.
All right. So and then what you can factor in is that investors may, once they look at your projections and your assumptions, may dialogue with you and say that, okay, here are the possibilities for further acceleration, or we continue with the, I like capital efficient building of businesses. So I like the fact that this is a sub 20 million investment and an 80 million 80 million by year 7 kind of trajectory. That's fine with me. Investors have various different preferences, and that's something that you're going to have to factor in, which is fine. Okay. All right. What other questions can I answer for you?
So that's more about, this is more of our financial forecast. Where do we think we'll end up with our cash flows? What are we looking for raising as a seed till our say? This is our vision about where the product really goes, where it grows beyond. So that's about it. That's Skillkeepr right now.
All right, great. Okay, very good. Folks, what we saw here today is a really interesting positioning discussion, right? But one of the reasons we do these roundtables in this kind of, for lack of better words, reality show mode is so that you can see real case studies of real businesses and real strategy discussions. So if you like this approach of, really very, very high caliber strategy discussion, back and forth, role playing investors, digging holes, like picking for holes in a business strategy or a pitch, that is the 1 million by 1 million program. So if you like this approach, refer the program to other serious entrepreneurs. I'm going to take you through how to use 1Mby1M. If you are looking for further help, everything is on 1Mby1M.com. This is a completely virtual program. You can join from anywhere you like. So you can follow the blog. It's free. It's available on the website. And it's rich. It's really, really rich. The Entrepreneur Journeys book series is available on Amazon. There are 12 case study based books. If you're specific topics that you are trying to understand, there are lots of different topics covered in these books. Each of them have 12 to 16 case studies. Positioning is a topic that we do a lot of work in, probably one of the few accelerators that has real strength in positioning. These roundtables happen almost every week. I have some travel coming up, so we will go to every other week for a little while. But once I'm back again, we'll probably come back to every week. The real full acceleration program for 1Mby1M is 1Mby1M Premium. And that offers you extensive methodology guidance, a full digital curriculum, lots of business development support, and this kind of strategy consulting. We do that in private roundtables, members only roundtables, and the material from that, recordings are available. You don't have to take notes, but those recordings are not published to the outside world. We help you with financing. We have a large financing network, and we have lots of relationships in the investor circuit, and that's what you get to leverage through us. The 1Mby1M self-assessment that is available for free on the website is kind of the investor due diligence questions. You should use those and refine your pitch, because those are questions investors are going to ask you. Those of you who are early in the process, of course, Ron and Shibu have already bootstrapped and are continuing to bootstrap, so I don't necessarily need to make this point to them, but those of you who are listening, the bootstrapping course, the free bootstrapping course that's pinned to the top of the blog, is about a 1-hour course, and you should listen to it. Bootstrapping is a very important part of how this industry works today. You have to bootstrap first, raise money later. You cannot go to investors with a concept. It just doesn't work that way. Other learning tools, you can do our Udemy courses. By the end of this week, there's going to be 80 courses, and you can use those to learn as well. And if you go to the link that Maureen has put here, she'll put that in the public chat. That's available. That link has coupons available for discounts. You can also access our full curriculum, soup to nuts. Udemy is not soup to nuts, but it's a lot. But 1Mby1M Basic is soup to nut. Everything in 1Mby1M is available through 1Mby1M Basic. What is not available is the coaching and the introductions and so forth. For that, you have to go to premium. So go to the website, look around what to expect from premium, what to expect from basic, FAQs, video FAQs, curriculum description. It is a case study based program. So this is a place where a lot of entrepreneurs have come and told their stories, shared their case studies so that you can follow in their footsteps. It's a very rich program by way of learning from people who have done it before. We do have an investor introduction policy. You have to have done a certain amount of bootstrapping and validation to get to investors. So we won't send you to investors prematurely. You have to be ready for that. Our mantra is do not go to investors as beggars, go as kings. Bootstrap first, raise money later. That's it. That's kind of it. We do have a very large reach in social media, LinkedIn, in general, through our media channels. So people who are in the 1Mby1M premium program also get coverage through the channel, and you can take advantage of that to get the word out and show social proof for what you're doing. And that's it. We have roundtables, free roundtables coming up on February 22nd, next week. I will be in India. That one I'll be doing from India. And then March 7th, I'm going to be in Vietnam. So I'll be doing that roundtable from Vietnam. And then I'll be back in California for the March 28th one. That's it. Any other questions? I'll be happy to answer. You can dial in, you can talk through the computer, you can ask questions in public chat, any of that is fine. Now, if you have questions after this program about the program, Irina Patterson is your contact. She's on the 1Mby1M team, irina@1Mby1M.com. All right. So the entrepreneur whose testimonial you see on this program actually is somebody who did a bootstrapping to exit. So sometimes when we do the kind of positioning that we just discussed, where it's kind of like a module that goes into existing products, that integrates with existing products and then goes into an existing product ecosystem, bootstrapping to exit is an option, and some entrepreneurs who follow those kinds of positioning strategies leverage a bootstrapping to exit strategy. So on Udemy, we have a course on bootstrapping to exit, and of course that's available. All that material is also available through 1Mby1M Basic and Premium. We've actually sold companies also through the program going from bootstrapping to exit. That's just an FYI. Anybody else? questions? Ron and Shibu, you good?
Yep.
Yeah, we're good. I think we'll take the discussion offline.
All right. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank you so
coming
much.
today.
Thank
Thank
you.
Good luck. Bye.
Maureen. Good day. Bye.